a lot of people's minds is how many aircraft did India lose? We do know that there was some loss of aircraft, but not how many in this latest conflict.
We're not military folks, and our military are the only ones who really keep track of all of these things. But, you know, I think the important message that came out was, whatever may or may not have happened in the course of a conflict, neither side, by the way, talks about losses very much. And that's partially because you know very well that operational details are very closely held with the senior military people. But I can tell you one thing, whatever may or may not have happened, look what happened on what turned out to be the last night of the conflict, when India not only effectively struck 11 airfields of the Pakistani military, but there are commercially available, publicly available satellite pictures showing the extensive damage done. There's been craters on the runway, there have been operational command centers that have been bust by these Indian bombs, and just yesterday, the Pakistanis publicly admitted that Indian strikes were so wide-ranging and effective, they struck from as far as Hyderabad and South Pakistan to Peshawar in the northwest. So it looks very clear that whatever damage the Pakistanis believe they may have inflicted on India, it wasn't sufficient to prevent India from inflicting such extensive damage on Pakistan that they decided to request us to stop, which we're very happy to do.
Okay. So India's maintained that the ceasefire occurred when the Pakistani DGMO called the Indian DGMO, requesting for a cessation of hostilities. Pakistan has been playing up the role of the US, and President Trump, even as recent as, I guess, a couple days ago, he keeps saying that he used trade to stop the war.
See, that's not the impression I have. I can tell you that it was a public record that there were calls coming from various foreign ministers to our foreign minister, to our national security advisor. The US was amongst the most active in this regard, and that Secretary Rubio spoke to his Indian counterpart, Jaishankar. He also, in his second hat of NSA, spoke to his counterpart, Mr. Doval. At one point, Mr. Vance, the Vice President, called our Prime Minister. So there was a lot of calls being made, and that's true also the foreign ministers of the UAE, of Saudi Arabia, France, and so on. Many countries were concerned. My understanding is, and none of these calls was trade ever mentioned, not one. And certainly our information is that from our side, we gave a consistent response throughout, which corresponds to what I've just said to all of you, that we are only taking retribution for a terrorist attack. We are not interested in prolonging this conflict. If Pakistan hits us, we will hit back because we have a right of self-defense. If Pakistan stops, we'll stop. So we didn't need persuading to stop. And that message was given regularly to everybody else who called. I know that some of this is actually out on the sort of Twitter timeline of our foreign minister. So it was an open thing that we're talking to people and letting them know we're ready to call this off anytime the others do. And the others were the ones who were prolonging it. Only Pakistan had one foot on the escalatory ladder, not India. In every case, they initiated, we retaliated. When they stopped, we stopped. That's the way